Facebook told me to. So has anyone in this group run a Facebook ad? Probably a lot of people. Okay. So the first thing is to decide its purpose. And then the second element of that would be make an offer. So once you figure out the purpose, you got to design your call to action around it. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to buy this product? Do you want them to leave a review for this product? Do you want them to download something or visit your website? Or do you really just want them to like your page? Whatever the action item is, you want to design the ad around that. Item number 3 would be, targeting the right audience. So Facebook oftentimes will send you an email, or they'll put an alert on your Facebook page and they'll be like, boost this post for $5 and you're going to reach 2,000 people. And like, that sounds so great. But if you hit that boost button, all it's doing is sending that ad or sending that post to the next 2,000 people that get on Facebook. It's not optimizing it for what you actually need. It doesn't have a target market. So you really need to go into Facebook and maybe even set up like some of your Facebook like audiences, so that okay, in this one I want to target women age 40 to 50 and I want to sell them this product. And like, I need women who stay at home. I need women who, like to go to the chiropractor. I mean, you could really, if you like, some people on this call run a chiropractic office, you could really target people who suffer from headaches or who have back injuries or who live in Orlando and are close to you. So you really want to hone in on your target market and maybe set up like 2 or 3 of them so that you really have that ready to go when you're ready to run an ad. Number 4, and I think this is a really important one, is to know what your client value is worth. So if you are trying to get a client and okay, I'm going to be able to make $400 off of this client. If you're running an ad for $400 in hopes that you're going to get 10 clients, then you're going to be getting money's worth. But chances are that whatever ad you run, you need to see how much you're costing per click and make sure that it's worth it in the end result. So if you're only selling a $29 product and you're spending $60 in ads to get that one conversion, it's not really worthwhile. So you got to kind of break down what your value of your customer is versus the cost per click. Make sure it's worthwhile. And then item 5, and this is the last one, item 5 is like, where do you place the ads? So you can run an ad on Facebook. You can have it just go to Facebook. You can have it run in all of the apps. You can have it run on Instagram. You can have it run, differently on mobile. So make sure that your ad looks good in all the places that you're placing it, and make sure that it's synced properly so that you're not spending money in a place that you don't need to be spending money in. That's it. Now we can do Q&A.
Well, now we learned everything. No,
we learned everything. We're done.
Right. So my first question for you is, how do you even get started? Like, if I wanted to work with Green Bag Design, what does that process look like? Give us the cost. Like, how does it really work?
Gotcha. Well, whenever you're running a Facebook ad, I'm going to use an example of maybe selling a product, right? So to sell the product on a Facebook ad, you have to have the product somewhere, whether you have it on your Shopify account or your website. Where are you sending the traffic? Wherever you're sending the traffic, you want to make sure that you can track that conversion all the way from your ad all the way to your website or all the way to where you're selling it. Some products you can sell on Facebook, and that's great, and it all works together right in there. Sometimes you want to push them to your website. So designing the purpose and figuring out how you want to track it is kind of one of the things that we can help you do. So that's part of our setup. Our setup includes...
Can you tell us a little bit about the marketing pixel?
Yeah, so you want to put the pixel, so when you have a Facebook business page, you then set up your ads manager. So you're basically creating a manager to manage all of your ads. You put in your credit card in there, you manage your ads in there. Then you get a pixel. You can put the pixel on your website, and that way you have to have it on the page that you're sending people to. So that way you can track all of the conversions from your Facebook ad all the way to your website if you have that pixel in your website. If you don't have it there, then Facebook doesn't know what happens on your website after that. It's just kind of a void. So you want to have that. So we do all of that for you in our setup. And then we also run, we can help you run your Facebook ads monthly. So our big thing at Green Bag is we want to set up the tools and then make sure that you know how to utilize them for your own business. We never want you to feel like you don't know what's happening or that you wouldn't know how to do it yourself. So we do a lot of social media training sessions. We do a lot of setups and then running the first month and then handing it back to our clients and letting them kind of experiment with it as well. Or we do a lot of just full-on management of ads. And I would say a big thing that a lot of people say is like, oh, I have to have like $1,000 to run a Facebook ad. And you really don't. You can, we have some clients running as little as $100. We have some clients running as much as $2,500. So it's really up to what your value is and how much you have and how much it's worth to you. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about what makes a good Facebook ad?
Sure. Imagery is everything. Most of the time people aren't reading the text above or below, and Facebook only lets you have 20% of the text on the actual image itself. So you really want to make that image super captivating. If it's not captivating, no one's going to look at it. You know, I mean, we always look at babies, we look at puppies, we look at bright things, we look at things that kind of stop us. So think about what you can do to captivate in that image. And I would say keep in mind that like a lot of people use their faces or their headshots in ads. And while that's great, if you're a very recognizable person, you really want to be talking to the person that is looking and not just, you know, you're presenting yourself, yes, but you're also presenting your business. So make sure that image is more recognizable or has more of an emotion attached to it than just, you know, your business name.
Okay, who has some questions?
Yeah.
Go, Michelle.
Okay, so I have a business manager, which I don't really understand it, so I've kind of like did it and then left it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, as I'm looking at it, I have several different businesses under my umbrella. Can I put them all in that business manager, or is it one business per business manager?
So the business manager is nice because you can have multiple kind of business pages under that business manager, and they can all have different credit cards associated with them too. So you can kind of have it where you manage all of it from your one Facebook business account, but then they all kind of run separately.
Okay, who else has a question?
Yeah, this is Tina. I have a question about, are there placements that you see doing much better than others? Like, do you ever tell clients not to run on the right side or not to run on Instagram or something like that?
Yeah, most of the time our clients have a Facebook and Instagram page, and so that makes it really helpful. I would say on Facebook, when you're running an ad on Facebook, anytime you get an engagement like a like or a share, you can see who did it. And that's nice. And then you can invite them to like your page. So it's kind of like a double conversion that one, they've seen the ad, the second time they can then, or two, you can also invite them to like your page, which means that if they do, you'll kind of get them more in your sales feed because they'll see more of your posts. Whereas on Instagram, they just heart it and you can't really invite them to follow you continuously. So, you know, it really depends on what service or what product you're trying to sell. But most of the time it's more of like a, do I want to pay cost per click or impression kind of discussion.
Okay. Thanks.
So what's the difference between the cost per click and cost per impression? And do you see one of those works better than the other?
Yeah, we usually see that cost per click brings in, it's at least more quantifiable. But with impressions, if you're doing something where you're just trying to get your brand out there, then impressions is really helpful. But if you're actually trying to do like a call to action, like my page or buy this product, then the cost per click is always a lot better. You know, Facebook is pretty forward thinking on their ads. You can even set up landing pages within your Facebook business page now. You can set up like slideshows. I mean, it's pretty robust what you can do back there. So I would say what we've seen work the best is our retargeting ads. So you run a Facebook ad maybe for like a month or two, and then you retarget those people who interacted with it, who either went to your product or went to your page and maybe didn't purchase something, and you run that retargeting ad. Those are the ones we see the most success with the lowest cost per click rate. Cost.
Okay, who else has a question?
Chris, I don't have a question. This is Vicki, but I do have a word of advice.
Yes.
People need to look at their ad managers, because I found a Toyota truck ad on my ad manager page.
And I remember Donna attached me to that.
Yes, and it was 3 ads at $25 a piece. So I was out $75.
Did you report it to Facebook?
I did, but I am telling you, Chris, that was the hardest thing to find. Support on Facebook was like digging and digging and digging for like an hour and a half. It was extremely exasperating.
But you got your money back?
I got my money back, and then they also reimbursed me for my monthly charge and my ad charge. So they gave me much more money than I expected.
Yeah. So I've accidentally, instead of running a Facebook ad where it was $100 budget for the week, I ran it per day, and I didn't realize it until day 3. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so many clicks. This is amazing. And then I realized I'd spent $300 instead of $100. And I contacted Facebook. Oh. It did take a while to find it, but they refunded me the entire $300. So even though it does take a while, like once you get a hold of them, they're pretty responsive. They want you to have a good experience.
That's true, but getting a hold of them was
very
impossible.
Hard. So
watch
even
your
if someone
ad
like me
guide.
who runs several Facebook ads a month, like we have a pretty high spend if you include all of our accounts. We don't have a phone number to call. And I know a lot of people are like, well, surely you do. And it's like, we don't. We definitely don't.
And that's I think it's a major flaw.
I wish I could tell you all let Facebook know, but honestly, they don't care.
Chris, I have a question.
Yeah.
Pixels that's just tracking stats, but that's not like a CRM, correct?
No. No, Facebook Pixel is tracking. It's almost like your Google Analytics code, where it's tracking what's happening on the page that you're sending it to. But like a CRM is a client relationship manager, so that's more like a
like a database.
Your database. Exactly, right, Michelle.
So with a Facebook ad, not only do we need the ad itself to capture the audience attention, but then we need the landing page to take them to get there. Okay.
And like you can build some ads in Facebook, like you can build them out so that there's a landing page within Facebook if you don't have a website. But you know, if you're trying to drive traffic to like a product and you're only selling it through like Facebook or through your website, like you want to have those landing pages. You want to have those landing pages because it's just going to funnel your target into exactly what you want them to do. So like if I was selling a product, say I was selling like a broom, and I'm advertising this really cool broom, and then people go to my landing page and I'm just sending them directly to the front page of my shop. And on the front page of my shop is like cleaning supplies and brooms and dustpans, and like they're gonna get lost. But if I send them directly to the broom, that's what they're looking to see. They're gonna purchase it a lot more likely and then if they have to go searching for it. So you really want those landing pages.
Gotcha.
So you are suggesting a landing page for like one product?
If you're trying to sell a product, I just would suggest that you send them directly to the product and not to like your generic homepage. So like if you're trying to sell a subscription to a magazine or like one of your boxes, and you send them directly to like FOFmagazine.com and not to the box, then they have to go hunt for it.
Right, I
and
got
not
you.
that it's hard to hunt for it because your website's pretty organized.
So make
but
your
like,
call to action button be when they click it, that's where they go, right there.
yeah, because
to
that's
that
what they're
link.
expecting to see.
Yeah.
So, and then you could still get them on your blast email list and like.
Yeah, I know for
more of your
me, if
website
I have
later.
to dig around and look for something, I give up after a while. I'm like,
Exactly.
forget it. It must not be
Yeah.
meant to be. Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
I would
what
say
is
that
the
too,
benefit
like,
of having a landing page then?
It really depends on like a lot of people aren't selling products, they're selling services. So like, say I was selling one-on-one social media training, I would need a landing page that really focused on my social media training class and not just, do you need my keys? And not just, I think they're there somewhere, sorry, husband. And not just like the main page of my website where they'd also learn about websites and get really confused.
Now, do you also help with designing landing pages?
Yes. Yeah. Landing pages, sales funnels. We help with all of that. Yeah. So we can run the ad for you. We can make sure, you know, your conversions are getting sent properly. We can help you with your blast emails and, you know, getting it all synced up.
And so,
and if you have like a Shopify or a WooCommerce or something, we can help you get it synced to your Facebook page so that you can sell your products directly through there and you don't have to like upload them and move them around and stuff.
Have you done any ads for Legal Shield?
We've done some legal ads, like for lawyers. Yeah.
But
So
Catherine, you absolutely could run some for Legal Shield, as long as you're within the Legal Shield advertising guidelines.
Yeah.
You know, especially to target like maybe those CDLs or those homeowners with guns, those, you know, those riders on your plan. Those might make great ads to really pull in some people to watch one of your videos. You know, I mean, because you absolutely have products that could lend themselves to good ads.
Can I interject a little Legal Shield thing here real quick? Because I think a lot of it is relational. Actually, my daughter today texted me that she wants to change her name back to her maiden name because she's a widow and she just wants to, you know, it's hard to say, nobody gets it right. It's just, you know, she went to the Social Security office. She had his driver's license, his Social Security, her Social Security, her the death certificate, you know, all of that. And they told her she needed to have a court order and it would be $400. But she called Legal Shield and they said, fax us everything you have and they're going to change your name for free.
Yoo-hoo! There we go.
Yeah, they did my husband.
Those little personal relationships, like she changed her name for free with Legal Shield. You know, I mean, when people hear that, they're like, oh, I don't want my stupid ex-husband's name anymore or whatever. You know, it makes it relatable.
And I would say that too, Facebook is very proactive in the fact that you can target people who are recently divorced, or you can target people who are separated, or it's complicated. Like you can target that group of people. In the reverse, you can target people who are potentially about to get married, who have been in a relationship for more than 3 years, who have, so like you can be very proactive with it, opposed to like a Google ad where you're kind of just waiting for them to type something into a search bar. You can push your ad in front of your target market a little bit easier.
Okay.
So Chris, can you expound on that a little bit? Talk to us about the targeting within Facebook. Like, I mean, because it's mind-blowing, so tell us.
Facebook knows everything. I mean, they know just as much as Google does. Google knows everything too. But Facebook really has it where you can really pinpoint your target market. So say you're running an ad for Juice Plus and you want to target people who maybe at the beginning of the year have made some New Year's resolutions, or they just joined a gym, or you know, they've had a breakup that might have made them like gain some weight, or like want to, you know, get fit or something like that. You can target those people. You can also target people who might have followed a page, like I don't know if there's a Juice Plus page, but you can probably target people that follow that page. Yeah.
So I know with Juice Plus, as an advertising thing, we legally cannot pay for advertisement directly to our Juice Plus website. So we have to do it in a roundabout way. Yeah, like it was just me. But I can't do a paid ad directly to my Juice Plus website. So
is that a Juice Plus rule or is that a Facebook rule?
It's a Juice Plus rule. It's a company guideline and stuff.
I would say too, Facebook is also cracking down on ads that deal with body issues. So if you're running an ad that is focused on like losing weight, Facebook will a lot of times reject it because they're very body positive right now, which is great. So
we as a company, we're not allowed to say anything that you can lose weight on this. We're legally not allowed to say that either anyway. But do you help with figuring out how to do the roundabout way of?
Well, you could talk about getting your 8 to 12 servings a day of fruits and vegetables. Nobody does that. Are you getting your 8 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables?
To direct them somewhere.
But Alex, that's why you would do a landing page that really has nothing to do with Juice Plus. It just identifies those people in some way on a landing page. And then on the back end, you're going to follow up with them for Juice Plus.
Yeah.
I would say one of the big trends right now that we're seeing is groups. So people building groups around their brands where it's not just, I'm selling Juice Plus, but we're going on this health journey together. And all these people are joining this group because they all want to go to this health journey. So encouraging people to join your group where you talk about health and you talk about vegetables, and you talk about getting your daily servings and like other things that can just generally help your life. And everyone is in there as a group. And then you are also kind of, selling your Juice Plus through, this is the shake I made this morning, here are my Vita gummies, whatever. So selling it within the group and then having people join your group is another way that a lot of people are kind of getting around some of those. And the groups are really, if you build a great group, and then you have a lot of clout in that group, but you also have a lot of, community in that group. And so there's a lot of trust that you can build in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hi, Jerry Mason.
Hey!
I see you jumped
people this time.
Hey, all right. So, Miss Jerry, introduce yourself. Tell us what you do. Give us a success story.
I'm Jerry Mason. I'm an author and a motivational speaker. And what I try to do is impact lives by every book, every message, every conversation, and every speaking engagement that I have, or every writing opportunity. A success story is, oh my gosh, I wish I could say that I really did go and get my videos from Facebook onto YouTube, but I didn't. Katrina and I tried to talk about doing that this morning. But my success story is the same. I downloaded all 6 of my books to an ebook and on my website so that I can promote that while people are at home.
Very good.
Since Jerry's here, that actually brings me to my next question, because as Alex was talking, I want to ask Chris, can you run Facebook ads on products that you have not on, like if you don't have a Facebook page, like Jerry's books or my books on our Amazon page, or like I do my photography on, but you have to go to a different site to do it. Can I run those on Facebook without a Facebook page for that?
You have to have a Facebook ads manager to run a Facebook ad. So, or a Facebook business page. So if you're saying, I want to run an ad to go straight to Amazon, you can do that. You're just not going to be able to see how many of those clicks actually converted to a book sale, because you can't place a pixel on Amazon. So keep that in mind. And also a lot of times if Facebook sees that the link, like say you had michellesgreatbook.com and michellesgreatbook.com actually led to, FOFmagazine.com. What that Facebook will see that as like a masking of your website, and they want the direct link. They don't want any like switcheroos happening. So keep that in mind as well.
But if I have a page on Facebook for my books, I can use that page It's not
Yeah,
really,
your Facebook business page.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really a business page. It's just a page that I have where I put up, you know, whenever we do book signings or reviews and stuff like that, but it is on Facebook.
Well, wouldn't it be a page? Wouldn't it be a business page then? Or is it just not classified as a business page?
It's a business page.
It's just one of my pages. I have like 6 Facebook
It's probably
pages.
still a business page because it's not your personal page.
Right, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it probably is still structured as a business page.
And like the photography and stuff that I do, like on coasters and all that kind of stuff, I actually do promote them on my photography business page.
Yeah.
Even though the link goes to Rubble or Society 6 or whatever, I can still use my creative photography business page to set it up and do it all, right?
Yeah, just keep in mind that if someone buys a coaster, you're not going to be able to see that traction.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And that Facebook might deny an ad going to a page that you don't control if it doesn't have an SSL certificate, meaning if it's not a secure site.
Oh.
So if it doesn't have the HTTPS, or if it has pages associated in it that don't have the HTTPS, a lot of times Facebook will reject it now too, because they really want everything going to secure
They want the
sites.
security. Yeah, I just paid for the security on my magazine page. So
yeah,
I know,
super important.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, who else has questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
So is there a difference like with the ads and like the posts like you boost? And if so, like what's the difference?
Okay, so an ad is something you create in your ads manager. I would say your ads take up a little bit more time, but we've generally seen them be more effective because a lot of times people just hit the boost button and it just sends it out. Now, if you're hitting the boost button and your ad is, and your post is like well structured, has a great image, has a call to action, has a link in it, like all of that helps when you're boosting a post. Sometimes it's easier to boost a post than to run an ad, but they're both going through the same kind of screening. They're both charging you the same amount. You can set up the audiences in a boosted post. So just, they're pretty similar, but a boosted post is, the thing I like about a boosted post too is you can send it out to people who have liked your page and their friends, which is oftentimes the people we see that like our page the most when we do a boosted post like that, because chances are the people that have liked your page and their friends probably are interested in the same things they are, and so they might be more likely to like your page or your product or whatever it is.
Okay.
I have a question. Go. I have a question. Yep. For a boosted post, do you think that it's better to designate the age limit? Because the first choice they give you is an age limit, and then they say friends like your post or their friends. How about the age group?
Yeah, so that's where you can choose an audience. If you've already created an audience through a Facebook ad or in your back end, you can select an audience there. So if you created, Terry, I don't know what business you run. Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
So for your books. So yeah. if you created an audience of people who you know are likely to purchase your books, whether they're women or whether they're over the age of 30 or whether they live in Nebraska, whatever it is, if you've created that audience, you can pick that audience when you're boosting a post. So I would never pick just the age brackets because that's just going to send it to everyone. At least the friends and friends of your page are at least a little bit more narrowed in. But I would always try to choose an audience or set up an audience.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about the process of going into Ad Manager and creating an audience?
Yeah, so going to your ads manager, and this is something we do in training sessions a lot, is we offer 1 hour training sessions. They're usually $125, but if $125, but if you come from Mirelli, we have a coupon code that takes $25 off because we love Katrina. Yay! So, and those can be scheduled on our website. We can do them over Zoom. And what we do in those training sessions is we help you set up your audiences. And part of that is helping you define your audience. So a lot of times, you know, we work with dentists up the street from us. And when we talk to them, they're like, well, my audience is anyone with teeth. And I'm like, cool, that's not good enough. Like, we need you to be more defined on that. Do you love, and then through discovery, we found out they really love their Friday afternoon, late evening shift. So they love working with parents who have kids in school that need to go to the dentist. Not your favorite Friday afternoon, but at least they're open past 5. So that's what we targeted. We targeted those moms that have kids in school, usually between the ages of 11 and 18. And those are the people we targeted. And they saw 40 new clients in the first month that we worked with them. And I think we spent like $500, which they easily recouped because they're dentists. Every cleaning was like $100. So just think about, we help you define your audience, and then we help you set up your audiences.
Very good.
Chris, I have another question. What all do we need to have a successful ad? So we need the ad, we need a landing page. Do we need like a CRM program? Do we need like what?
I mean, CRM is so personal. That's like, every company has a different idea of like what their CRM is, how they keep track of their customers. My opinion is for a Facebook ad to function properly, you need a Facebook business page it's connected to. You need that page to have some kind of posts on it. Because what is inevitably going to happen is people are going to like your business page as well. And if it's empty, you're going to essentially look closed. So you need a functioning business page with at least, posts on it, probably at least 10. I mean, I'm sure we all have our Facebook business pages up for at least a couple of months before we're running ads. So you want a functioning business page. You really want to focus on your imagery and your call to action. So what do you want out of the ad, and what visualization are you giving them to entice them to pay attention to your ad?
Because for me, my goal would be new patients. So I would need at least a landing page or something in order to capture the information.
Yeah, so if you wanted wherever you're sending them, say you're sending them to your website. So on your website, it would essentially be your landing page. You would want to entice them to contact you through an email form, or maybe even download a 5 reasons chiropractic is best for you, and then you get their email. So at least you're getting something out of the click, and then you can also invite them to like your business page.
Right. And so Karen, that means you may need an email management system.
Like a MailChimp.
For me, I use Aweber or MailChimp or GetResponse, something like that. And when they fill out that form, it will automatically send them their free gift, and then you have their emails that you can follow up with. And I think, Chris, you would help them create like a follow-up email series, right?
To help them with everything, yeah. And then you can even throw them into a sales funnel at that point, where you send them a series of 3 to 5 emails where you're telling them how great chiropractic is, but not just chiropractic, but how great you guys are, how much you'll help them. Which I mean, I could think of 15 reasons why I love my chiropractor right now. So it would be a good enticing thing, especially with right now where everyone's trying to stay super healthy.
Exactly. Yes. Very good. All right, who else has a question? Anyone new popped on? Let me.
I have a question. So I'm looking here at my business manager thing, and I'm kind of going down the settings. Can you real quick just kind of run down what each of these things is? I mean, it says, but it's just like one sentence. This does this.
Do you want to give me an example?
Business asset groups.
Let me pull up my Facebook business page so I can see what you're looking at.
It says business asset groups allows you to connect assets, people, and permissions all in one place. Add assets or add people and set permissions.
So Michelle, that's all your different pages like that. So that could all be, it's so that Focus on Fabulous photography, Focus on Fabulous magazine, your author page and everything. That each one of those is considered a business asset for Facebook.
So
you're looking at your manager and not the ad specifically.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the manager.
Cool. Gotcha. Yeah.
So I need to add my other companies to this.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of connecting them, because obviously you have access to all of them. So it's just hooking them all up.
I put my video back on.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think
we can still hear you.
Catherine, mute. I don't know where Catherine went.
Yeah. And that's something we can do during a training session too. We can set up all of that. At the training sessions, I would say we basically say we're lending you our brain for an hour. So if you come in for Facebook ads and we're able to finish that in 30 minutes, and then you want to jump to MailChimp, or you want to look at Google, or you want to look at your website as a whole, as long as we get it done within the hour, we're happy to jump around. We're all inclusive, so we know a lot about a lot.
So very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Good
So
information.
Tina Arnoldi, do you have anything from the Google side that, like, do you offer consultations on setting up Google ads?
Yeah, so I'll put my stuff back on here. So I do, so for Google ads, I think, yeah, I do some consulting on there for people who just want to they just need to set it up, or for people who need to manage their pages. But Google's got some really interesting things happening with their audiences right now too. So like on the Google Display Network is where, so Google Display is where you're showing images, like image ads or videos, rather than searching on google.com. You can create what's called a custom affinity audience. So if you want to target people who are searching for specific topics or visiting certain web pages, like your audience, they're going to your competitor pages, or they're going to top blogs that are relevant to what you're selling, you can reach out to that audience based on what their interests are. So I think it's kind of, that makes it pretty interesting as far as how you're targeting on there. And then again, for Google search, the audience, I mean, it's not quite as big, but you can say, I want to target moms who are 30 to 50 years old and make more than 70,000 a year or something like that. So I think it's interesting to try your paid search on different platforms, because again, like with Facebook too, same on Google, you're not stuck to a certain dollar amount. So if it's not working for you, you can turn it off, or you can always scale up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was wondering. Like, Chris, talk to us a little bit about testing. And then, like, if you had a winning ad on Facebook, can you convert it to also use it on Google?
So on Facebook, you can run, definitely you can do some A/B testing. You can try running an ad with 2 different photos. I wouldn't change too much. You know, I wouldn't change the content and the photos in your A/B testing. Otherwise, it's not really A/B testing. It's just running 2 separate ads. So if you want to try out 2 separate photos and see which one kind of gets the best results out of each one, you can definitely do that on Facebook. I would say switching from Facebook to Google, you're basically, I mean, and Tina, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like on Google, you want to do the ad testing again. People respond to different things on different platforms and like in different ways. If I'm searching for something, I might be looking for it written up in a different way than if it's coming at me in my feed.
Okay, interesting.
What do you think, Tina?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just because it works like, yeah.
Oh, it's not coming out, Tina.
No. Tina, I think we're losing you.
Yeah, it seems frozen. Either way, I think you have to kind of.
Exactly right. You want to test it again on the next platform.
Yeah, you want to test it again on Google because it's just going to run differently. I mean, you're going to have different responses, and you're going to have different cost per click. So you want to really make sure that whatever cost per click you have on Facebook, you cannot expect that same cost per click on Google. It'll be different.
Yeah. What about promoting events on Facebook? Are Facebook ads a good idea for events?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to get your event out there. It's a great way to increase ticket sales. Yeah, of course. So the great thing about setting up an event is when you set up an event for your page, you can invite everyone that has liked your page to that event. But the other part is like you can keep adding content to your event as well as your Facebook page. So whenever you do it to an event, you a lot of times have a lot more engagement because people get excited about the event. So I would say if you are creating an event in Facebook, don't just create the event and leave it. create the event, and then post in there the same kind of way you post in your business page about your upcoming events.
Right, exactly. And that, I mean, I find that to be much more effective. And actually the only Facebook ad I've ever run that I thought was very, very effective was for an event.
Yeah.
You know,
People get excited about events. It's also
ticket sales and
it's easier to define your call to action when you have an event. I mean, you know exactly what you want to do. You want to sell more tickets to the specific event. So for a lot of us, we feel like we have so much that we can offer that it's kind of hard to hone in. But on an event, you're like, buy the ticket, buy the ticket. That's exactly my call to action. It's a lot easier to figure out.
I have an observation and a question for Chris. When I tried to do an event ad on Facebook, it wouldn't let me do it. It said it was social, it was political, it was something, it was none of the above. So do you have to do the actual event link in order to do an event ad?
So if you ever get a message like that where Facebook's rejecting your ad and you're unclear as to why, you can ask them to revisit the ad. What happens usually the first time around is Facebook algorithms are kind of reading your ad, and a lot of times it'll get rejected for this reason or this reason, and that reason might not actually be something that's happening. So you can ask them to revisit it, and oftentimes that second time you'll get a much more defined answer why it's being rejected. So.
Yeah, I have a good story on that. I actually did an ad, and I was doing early bird ticket, and it got rejected because I was promoting poultry. You're not allowed to sell livestock on
I
Facebook.
remember that. That was hilarious.
It's early bird tickets, but they had the word bird in there, and the algorithm caught it and said I was selling livestock. And so they had
I remember that.
So sometimes the rejection is not what you think.
Oh.
And we've had ads rejected before because we had more than 20% text, but it came back saying that was something like, you know, health related. And it's like, okay. So yeah, it's always good to kind of ask them again to review it, unless you can obviously see what's wrong with it.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Got some more other questions?
It was good information.
It was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great. Cool.
And so, yes, for Mirelli members, you'll do was it 25% off your services?
$25 off, yeah.
$25 off, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and kind of give us another overview of your services. And how we can get in touch with you and sign you up and make you run our Facebook ads and make us incredibly wealthy.
Yeah, so I would say our training sessions are probably our most successful product. We do them from anything from Facebook ads to you know, Instagram, Canva, MailChimp, and then oftentimes we have people who have created a website themselves, maybe on Wix or Weebly or WordPress, and they just don't know what to do with it now. So we do training sessions on how to use the back end of your exact website. And then I would say our biggest thing that we have going on right now is our website facelifts. So for under $500, we'll basically go on your website and like jazz it up, make it look like a professional did it, clean it up, make sure everything's working, and make it shine for you. And then any of those you can email us or go on our website. It's greenbagdesigns.com. Here's my green bag. It's very big. I carry it with me wherever I go. So if you ever see a crazy person in public with a green bag, that's probably me. And yeah, it's the easiest way to get in contact with us is through our website or our Facebook and Instagram page.
Very good. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So anyone have give me some ideas of what you're doing while you are self-distancing and hanging out at home. What are some of the things, like what webinars are you watching? You know, what new lists, what kinds of things are you doing? Has anyone learned anything?
I'm with you, Trina. I'm working on my sales, my like video course, my online course. This is a really good time for that.
Yeah, You know, I mean, like I said, I videotaped a couple this week, and then you watch them back and go, well, that one's okay. Then I watch the other one back. Oh no, that's no, you know, too many too many whatever, you know, like, but getting it done, gonna happen, right? So Michelle, I know you actually like created a course.
Yeah, I have actually two courses.
Tell us about it.
I haven't publicized them yet because one of the little clicks isn't working properly. And so I'm sure that it's me, you know, and not the setup. So I'm still kind of troubleshooting. But I think the biggest thing that I've accomplished is I did a podcast interview through
with me.
Zoom with Trina, kind of to see if I could. And the most challenging part was it saved it as, because it was video, so it saved it as an MP4. So I was able to convert it to an MP3, but then when I went to load it to Anchor, it said, please get rid of the video data that's still in here. So I was like, there's no video, but I guess the little corruptions or whatever that are in it, it's still, it was like, it wasn't a video on my screen. It looked totally different than the other icon, but I had to actually go in, and I don't know how I did it. I was just Google and playing, and I figured it out. And when I uploaded it, it never said, it just went success. And I was like, yes.
Right. So did you use Audacity or did you use something else?
You know, I did download Audacity, but I couldn't get, because it sounded a little gargled. And so you were either talking like, or you're talking, and so I couldn't find a middle of the road where we didn't. And I found my noise reduction. I went in and fixed that. So I spent an entire 7 hours working on that before I finally was able to get it to where at least you can hear it. And, you know, so it isn't perfect, but it's out there.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I remember, I mean, I used to use Audacity a lot. I haven't used it a lot lately, but I mean, it used to be, once it was there, it was like, it would clean up all kinds of audio. So
yeah.
Good free program.
What program did you use, Michelle?
Audacity.
Oh, okay.
But to convert from MP3 or MP4 to MP3, I used VLC Media Player.
Yep. I used to use that too.
It's a little orange cone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vicki, what about you? I know are you still working pretty much your full-time job?
I am still working my full-time job.
Very good.
So I can't believe we're considered essential because people have their appliances, but I'm anticipating them telling us that we're going to have to shut down because we're going to be considered non-essential.
Okay, but until now, you haven't really had the free time that some of us have. So.
Yeah, and I don't know how I'm going to deliver flowers because I'd have to go to a store to get flowers, and then people aren't going to want me to deliver them. But I actually do have my boss's wife. Her mother is having a birthday on Friday, and she said, "Oh, I want you to do the arrangement." So that's great, as long as they don't shut us down and say, you've got to be mandatory quarantine, because then I'm stuck. I can't.
No, I went to Publix today, and they had tons of the little bouquets of flowers, and
yeah, a lot of grocery stores still have flowers.
Yeah.
And
even like
right.
You can do like curbside pickup where you just hold them out the window and they can come up from you, you know.
Right. Well, that's not the problem. The flowers aren't the problem. It's whether I am going to be able to deliver them to this
Whether
woman.
you'll be allowed to leave the house.
Exactly. I mean, I could do my flowers all day long, but that doesn't make any difference if I can't leave the house.
They can't force us to stay in the house.
Yeah. Everybody's doing, you know, drive-throughs, curbside, that kind of stuff. So I think you'd be able to deliver them. You just may have to say, hey, I'll honk when I get there. Somebody come out and get them. I'm going tomorrow to go pick up something, and I'm just picking it up on her porch because she has a low immune system, and You know, she's just leaving it to me on the porch. I'm going to call her from the driveway and we're going to discuss it.
Right. And that's the thing, Vicki. You could just leave it on whoever's porch and, you know, just say, hey, there it is.
Yeah.
True. And then I'm thinking, well, going to the grocery stores is a problem because I can do that. But they're going to see me walk out with flowers and they're like, if Big Brother's watching, he'll be like, what are you doing? You're just buying flowers. That's not mandatory stuff.
Oh, I don't think they're going that far. No,
Yeah,
if it's in the store, they want it sold, so that's fine.
Right, yeah, they can't.
Hey,
my wholesale florist is still selling flowers, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Lish, what about you? What have you been doing? Are you still working your full-time job, or you've had free time?
Yeah, I'm still working my full-time job. I'm like back and forth, teleworking back and forth, which is very confusing.
Okay.
But I am still trying to work on my course too that I've been telling you guys about a couple of weeks ago, my credit score course.
Yep.
So it's just kind of hard because I don't know, because I mean, I'm trying to do the platform you told me about, but I think I want to do like the PowerPoint first, but kind of like getting everything together is just a lot. So, but I've been definitely working on that. So it's going to be a while before I get it out, but I definitely been working on that. So yes.
Very good. Let's see, anyone else? Anyone have anything that they want to share? Anything you've learned in the last couple of weeks that you think others need to know about?
I would say one of the big things we're seeing a lot with businesses who aren't necessarily allowed to or able to see their customers as much as they used to, or like a retail shop that's closed, is we're seeing a lot of people sell gift cards preemptively. So like buy a $100 gift card now, get $150 later to spend. That way you get some money in the door now. So just thinking creatively about, you know, how to still get in touch with your customers. And I know right now we're offering 30-minute marketing consults for free. So if anyone needs some like quick, you know, how do I get through this from a marketing standpoint, I know that's one thing we're offering as well.
Oh, nice. Good to know. Good to know. Hey, go in the Mirelli group and post that if you want.
Okay.
You know, definitely, because that's something that I think a lot of people would take advantage of. And that way, you know, who knows what kind of business you might get out of it.
Right.
Yeah. For those of you in direct sales, I know you all have on up lines of things, but Ray Higdon, if you know who Ray Higdon is, he has opened up his Rank Makers program free for the next 30 days.
Oh.
And so he has a lot of training videos, I mean, it can be overwhelming because he has so much stuff. But he really knows his stuff as far as direct sales, you know, MLM, network marketing kind of thing. He really has a great program out there called Rank Maker, and it's free right now for 30 days. So,
cool.
So, you know, you can always learn some new skills, some new ideas. So, all right, well, I think that is probably about it, unless anyone has anything else to share. Going once, going twice. All right, well, then we will see you again. Next Tuesday, again, we'll be doing virtual masterminds, both in the morning at 9 and the evening at 6. And, you know, and I'm going to hit the end record button here, and the recording will be available to Mirelli members over the next, you know, I'll get it set up in the next week or so.
Now Vince is joining us.
There we go.
This just came on.